everyone, I'm Shannon Kantner, and you're watching a special CMSD TV program, Talk to the CEO, featuring District CEO Eric Gordon. We're here in the studio with him for a Q&A discussing district news and updates. In today's episode, we'll talk about the district's citywide analysis and long-term planning, an update about Say Yes to Education, and a look ahead to the 2019-2020 school year. And thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you. Great to see you, Shannon.
Yeah, let's jump right into things. CMSD is working on recommendations for the future of district academic programs and facilities. Explain why this is such a critical opportunity and tell us about your hopes for the final product of this data and community-driven process.
Sure. So the Board of Education and our Independent Bond Accountability Commission really charged us to take another opportunity to update our facilities plan. We see it as far more than a facilities plan. We see it as part of our equity agenda. We want more kids in better performing schools and modernized buildings. And so we took it as an opportunity to ask ourselves, where are kids today? Are they sitting in A, B, or C schools? Are they sitting in D or F schools? Are they sitting in schools that have been modernized since 2002 or not? And then are they enrolled sufficiently to be viable so that we resource those schools appropriately in this goal of equity? So that's the work we've been underway in the community here.
And within that work, the district is going to great lengths to engage the community in that planning process and discussion. What feedback has resonated?
Well, so yeah, we have really been working hard to engage the community, and before we talk about what we've learned, why we're doing it is also really important. So when I first came to the district, people would say, you don't ever listen to us, and we'd have these meetings in huge auditoriums, and somebody would lecture the community for half an hour, and then they'd line up at a podium to scream at us for half an hour, and we'd chart it all on chart paper. They'd go home mad, we'd go home mad, and nobody knew where the chart paper went, right? And that was community engagement. So we knew that wasn't it, but when we did the last round, we came out to the community with a whole bunch of ideas, and the response we got was, you guys have already figured this out, you don't really want to hear what we have to say. So this time, we didn't come out with any ideas. We just came out with the fact-based. We walked people through the evidence, everything we know. Everything that we know is on our website. It's qualityschools4clekids.org, every single artifact, so that people could really give us input. What we heard is, number one, is stay focused on quality. This is about making sure kids have great schools. We heard also, draw on what's working. The district has done a lot of things that are working. How can we replicate them? How can we make both the east and the west part of the city have these kinds of experiences? Be creative. Think about how you can use your existing resources for the programs you have and those sorts of things. Get more strategic about recruiting and even better about educating families about what these choices are, and then make the necessary trade-offs. There's some hard decisions that have to be made. And so we'll be coming back to the community actually starting on May 15th with another round of community meetings focused on our K-8 footprint, where we're going to apply those strategies that we heard.
Your work doesn't always just take you to schools and around this community. You testified recently in Columbus on state education funding. What message did you convey to legislators, and what is the outlook? So
we actually have a really interesting time in Ohio. Our funding has been found unconstitutional for almost 4 decades now. It was the DeRolf case, and it's been challenged and challenged and challenged. And the way you fix that is you have to have 2 things. You have to have the will to fix it in the legislature, people willing to make some tough decisions, and you have to have the resources to fix it. Well, we have both right now. We have some really strong legislators, particularly Representatives Cupp and Patterson. They're bipartisan, they're working together, they really want to see a fix, they want it to be their legacy, so it's the will. And the economy in Ohio and across the country is actually really strong, and so the state has the resources to make the initial investment to actually fund schools appropriately. And so my testimony was that they've come a long way, they're very close. We offered advice about how to get closer and to make sure that all of Ohio's children are funded appropriately by the state and not simply by relying on their community.
Well, thank you for that update. I'm sure we'll be following that as it continues.
Yeah, all the way to June 30th, and I would encourage all of our viewers to stay tuned and make sure that they're supporting this so that Ohio and Cleveland's kids get what they deserve.
Absolutely. Well, we haven't had a chance to sit down like this in a little while. In that time, it's pretty plain to see that Say Yes to Education has really taken root. Let's get an update.
Sure, so lots going on for Say Yes. We've had over 1,300 people in the community sign up to be mentors, so thanks for that. We're training all those mentors now. We'll be matching them with students. We've had Hundreds and hundreds of students at the high school sign up for their actual Say Yes scholarship and complete their FAFSA, and also making sure that they have gotten accepted into college and they're getting ready to go with that. So the scholarships are about to roll out the door. In the meantime, we've also selected the first 16 schools that will receive all of the services. Those services include a family support specialist, health services, mental health services, legal services, after-school and summer programming. And the schools are already actively surveying the kids and parents in those schools to find out what kinds of things they need. So it's really moving quickly. I'm very, very excited. And like we do everything in Cleveland, we're going to do it bigger and better than Say Yes has ever seen.
Of course.
Right.
And still more to come, which is the amazing
That's right.
thing to think about. With Say Yes here, this has really been a remarkable, even historic school year for the district. What else stands out as this school year comes to a close?
Well, while we're doing all this, we also got a collective bargaining agreement with our teachers union without any labor strife, no media, but really working collaboratively. Feel very good about it. It's a contract that's great for kids, teachers, and supervisors, so I'm really excited about that. We're working on some really excellent work to improve learning and teaching across the system and to provide better supports for that. We've really been focusing on writing and writing well and making sure that kids persist on math problems, and we're seeing the fruits of that labor. So I'm really anticipating improvements again on our report card. And we're heading into graduation season. We're about to send another 3,000 students out into the world, into college and career, and I'm really excited about that as well.
Well, since you mentioned it, any message for the class of 2019?
It's the same message that I always have, is that when they think they have gone as far as they can go, and when people tell them that, because people do, I want them to remember to reach further, because that's what they've done their whole lives. That's what got them to this day, and it's what's going to get them to be successful. And then I want them to come back to Cleveland and continue to be a part of our community.
It's a powerful message. And speaking of reaching further, let's take a little look ahead if we can. What can we look forward to in the 2019-2020 school year?
Well, in 1920, we'll be rolling out Say Yes formally, for sure. We will also, as I said, be rolling out a whole new way of thinking about learning and teaching, and it'll be a start, but we'll be seeing continued efforts around school culture and that sort of thing. But we're really at a point where it's time to make sure that we just really are operating at a really high quality functioning, continuous learning, improving organization. So you shouldn't be looking for big surprises. You should be looking for steady, stable, forward progress. That's what I expect you'll see in the fall.
Excellent. And any last message for the community or the district, since this is probably our last time to sit down before summer break is upon us?
Well, first, I really want everybody in the community, our kids and our families and caregivers, to really enjoy summer. Take that break, but stay engaged. And we've created some materials and tools and some videos, actually, from our communications team that will help families and students stay engaged in fun ways with their content. But really do get that break and enjoy family time. And then, as always, I'm just so grateful to the Cleveland community for all of the support and for the trust in the district.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it.
If you have a question for the CEO, you can email newstips@clevelandmetroschools.org. You might just see it on the next episode. In the meantime, you can follow the CEO on Twitter at @EricGordon_CEO. Thanks for watching Talk to the CEO, and for more CMSD TV programming, visit the CMSD News Bureau website at clevelandmetroschools.org/news. We'll see you next time.